Even as more measures will be relaxed from Monday, Singapore's reopening is still being done in a calibrated manner. To that end, you can dine in at eateries from next week, but only in groups of 2. A group of more than 2 people can dine in only if they all come from the same household, but they'll still have to be seated in groups of 2 at different tables.
If you have 6 people in the household, you cannot book a table and have 6 people seated there. It's 2 persons per table. But this is about multiple table booking. Generally, multiple table bookings are not allowed, and F&B establishments will be required to enforce that. You cannot have a group of 6 friends and then you book 3 tables and then you have 2, 2, 2, and then you try and circumvent the restrictions, book 3 tables side by side and you still interact with each other. That's not permitted. But we had made a concession previously for households, people in the same household. If you really want to go out, 3 tables or 2 tables, but you're all in the same household, you make it very clear to the F&B outlet, and we did allow such concessions before and we will continue to allow.
The 2-person group limit for dining in will be increased to 5 from mid-July, barring unforeseen circumstances. Meanwhile, here's what you can and cannot do from Monday. Indoor mask-off sports activities may resume, but also only in groups of 2 with safe distancing. Wedding receptions will continue to be banned at least until mid-July, when further changes will be announced. Workers should continue to work from home as far as possible to reduce overall interaction within workplaces and public spaces. Regular testing using fast and easy tests like the antigen rapid test kits will be mandatory for staff in higher risk activities, including F&B outlets, personal care services and gyms with unmasked participants. And people who have visited hotspots on the same day as those infected will need to take a mandatory COVID-19 test. Infectious diseases specialist from the Rofi Clinic, Dr. Leong Ho Nam, is here to weigh in on today's developments. Welcome back to the show, Doctor. So, as what we've seen throughout the pandemic, Singapore's approach to handling it is still very much calibrated. Throwing back to what you told Haryanto last week, is it still a case of having your cake but not being able to eat the whole thing yet?
Interesting. Yes, we are in the state where we have the cake now. We get to eat it, but we halve it. So you're going to dine it across 2 people. I think the greater intent behind it all is to keep from the from the task force is actually to keep the reproductive numbers going up and keep the marriage numbers going up. So I am happy that people can still dine, and I'm very, very happy that Mr. Lawrence Wong has agreed to let people dine, one whole family dine together, except in 3 separate tables, because it makes it more reasonable for people with families like myself to go out dining. However, I'm going to say something. We haven't solved the problem of taking the mask down, eating in an indoor situation. If you look at it, the indoor situation with the ventilation, the transmission rates are still high. Unfortunately, indoor dining is still high risk. So it's a reminder to everyone that we must keep the mask up whenever possible. Put the mask down only when you're consuming your food or your drinks. When you're speaking to each other, mask must stay on, and try to distract other people. I mean, don't gather across tables, because this would remove the purpose of having 2 persons per dining. And I'll be very honest and say that I expect the numbers to go up as a result. But it is between the businesses not running forwards and versus us having or complete control of the virus. So this is a meeting ground, a middle ground for all situations, and we hope that this will allow a bit of economy to continue on, but yet at the same time, some fun.
Exactly. So you mentioned, it's about balancing the need to keep the virus in check as well as, letting our businesses carry on. So hawker centres, as you know, are the most affected. But these places, being outdoors, I assume they're considered safer because, they're better ventilated. But as we have seen, that's not the case because the recent examples of Bukit Merah View. So, Doctor, with dining in allowed again from Monday, and presumably that'll bring in more people to the hawker centres, what should patrons keep in mind while they're there?
Olivia, you're really spot on that, because if you look at the ventilation has been the star performer to prevent transmission. And yet, in the hawker center in Bukit Merah, we have open ventilations and the transmission goes on. So, what are we going to do? I mean, it is as open as it can be. So we have a few things. The point suggested would be the toilet, because lots of things happen in the toilet. People will just blow their noses and the viruses will go all around. Number two, in the queue for their favorite food, you may actually cut below the 1 meter minimum distancing. We ought to do that. Number three, in hot preparation in the kitchen, people will just put their masks down and then be a little bit less careful. So if we really want the Singapore economy to open up safely, and we all want that safely with as minimal cases as possible, we accept some risks, but we do it with mask up, social distancing, and if the queue is really too long, try the other shop next door. Okay, if the queue is shorter, that guy needs money as well, so help that poor guy along, and all together Singapore can come out stronger and safer.